right, here we are. I guess we're live. I don't have, is it live? Is this going? It is. Hey, there you are. Hey everyone, Eric with Ride Adventures here. The van in the background there. Kyle Quinn, who just finished acting as support vehicle driver for one of our Baja tours, and Tim Mills here, who works on our bikes here back in Bend and is getting involved with what we're doing with the tours as well. A strange April day. We woke up to some snow. The van and Kyle just made it through some of that snow to get back up here after our last Baja trip. And what I thought I'd do here in this video is just walk through what we put on the brand new CB500Xs there, so you can see some parts options if anyone's looking for protective parts. And then I'm going to go through most of the rest of the fleet is here. Some are still down in Baja and San Diego, but kind of talking through what these bikes have been like as far as holding up in rental fleet operations and how are they doing. So for those of you buying the brand new 2022 CB500X, there it is, and there's Banksy boy. And we found SRC Moto, I believe it's called, right out of here in Oregon, making some of these hard parts here. So pretty ample crash bars, neat little sort of a slider puck that they have on the crash bar frame there. All ties in down there to the skid plate, which is protecting the exhaust and the oil filter as well pretty well. Tim, sounded like the parts went on pretty well.
They actually fit really well compared to all the other ones that we've done. There wasn't any stress points. Everything lined up nice and perfectly. I'd highly recommend anybody get this product if that would fit for their bike that they've got.
Okay.
This one's worked really, really well.
Not
And also the radiator guards that are in there too, I think, are another key point to
good one. Yeah.
also take a look at.
Yeah, because the exposed, we got another new one over there that doesn't have it on there yet, but the CB500X comes pretty exposed there as far as rocks and stuff coming up off the ground. But to Tim's point, a lot of these bikes, whatever, manufacturers aren't perfect in their crash bar protection, and sometimes you mount things up and it takes a little,
stress.
a little stress and pressure to make things line up in bolt holes and things like that. But yeah, so we got some basic protection on there now, headlight guard as well from SRC Moto, and yeah, nice to see that company based right here in Oregon. Parts for these bikes that were kind of hard to find in this time with all the parts shortages out there and everything. So we haven't really had to test them yet, fortunately, though. This last group that just finished down in Baja did not have such issues that they had to test the crash bars. But then we also have a 2022 Africa Twin right there. This one got the alt rider crash bars and the headlight protector and skid plate, put the whole crash bar system there. And I think you said that one bolted up pretty well.
That one also bolted up very well as well. Yep.
No having to stress and muscle things on.
Not really, no. It's
Yeah.
a little bit simpler to install, but otherwise those ones also bolted up just fine, no problem.
Okay. And then one of the older Africa Twins we still have running so as I move on from the part about just the new CB500X, which is obviously a popular bike, moving on to what are these reliable bikes that we're using, the best bikes in operation and rental is those Africa Twins, the Hondas and the Tenere 700s and the CB500Xs. But there's one of the older Africa Twin Adventure Sports we have there still with the alt rider parts on it. And just sort of going down the list of problems and issues that we've had on any of these bikes that I can think of. All right, Africa Twin, a couple of leaking fork seals on the Adventure Sports models, some of the 2018s and 19s, I think it was. There was a recall. There was a fuel tank liner issue where the fuel tanks were degrading and clogging up fuel filters, but Honda covered that under warranty. And I think we had one throttle actually get sticky, like the return spring for that throttle tube was getting sticky, and we had to replace that. But other than that, off the top of my head, I don't think we've had an issue with an Africa Twin now. And that's through quite a bit of, so that's going back to 2016, by the way, down in Patagonia. We've been running these bikes up and down Patagonia and through Peru, here in Oregon, the Pacific Northwest, in Baja and everything. And just, wow, the Africa Twin's a rock solid bike. We're so glad to have them in operation. So there's the new one. And again, another CB500X with the SRC. Oh, I guess that one actually did go down on its side. Okay, someone did put it down. Doesn't look like much, but hey, there's a point to that plastic puck that they have included on the frame. Maybe it keeps your paint from coming off on the crash bar itself a little bit more. So, but yeah, looks like it's held up just fine. Another great bike in operation now. What the Tenere 700 has come out a couple years ago or whatever, highly anticipated, and it is proving great as far as reliability. I don't know of a issue that we've had with them, other than yes, those original blinkers that people have made fun of. They were right to do so. Not only do they sort of make one want to laugh with that doorstop type springiness, but they fall out and break off and just are poorly chosen by Yamaha, if I can say so. They've actually popped out of the original mounting point in there in some cases. We found these aftermarket ones that are okay, not even sure what brand they are or whatever, but that was obviously an oversight on Yamaha's part. I think you folks in Europe got smaller and better, more like LED blinkers. If that's the case, congratulations, because the ones we're getting from the US here are not good blinkers. And then there was the issue, a lot of folks have seen that the exhaust mounting system there, that way the muffler is on there, if you go down, it can easily kind of fold in then and be rubbing up against the swing arm. We put some basic little Kydex wrap on the swing arm, so if it ever does get bent in and close up that gap again, it should be protected a little bit on the swing arm. But yeah, that was just sort of the wrong way to mount that exhaust by Yamaha. Aside from that, what a great bike. I wish it wasn't a stressed member chassis because, well, we've seen in other bikes, CB500Xs in Patagonia, we did have 2 customers break what is essentially the engine, because again, the stress member chassis uses the engine as part of the frame. We did have a couple of them break in Patagonia a couple of years ago. And I'm not going to predict and say that is happening and we're going to break engine mounting positions on Tenere 700s, but it's just, I don't know that bikes that were, meant to be pounded off road should depend on the engine like that for what is ultimately a very powerful stressing point, or a very important stressing point. But aside from that, customers are loving the Tenere 700s, and great middleweight adventure bike right in the middle of everything you'd ever want to do with any motorcycle. And so as the ice and snow from the quick snowstorm is melting off here, there's a few KTM 790s still here. Love the bikes for what they are. Wish that we had a fewer reliability issues with them. Throttle position sensors going bad, other electrical problems. Brakes have had to have work done on them. Headlights staying on when the key is taken out. I guess a lot of those problems have disappeared with the 890s. Good job, KTM, if you did get some of those bugs fixed out. But yeah, the 790s unfortunately have just not been as easy for a rental operator and a tour operator to deal with. They're just not as reliable as what Honda and Yamaha are putting out. So yeah, and then a couple more 790s and another CB500X back there. Very good idea to use something like, they're slid up right now, something like your seal savers there. This just got out of the van from being compressed, but that'll help protect your fork seals if you are getting in the dirt and needs to keep those seals going. So yeah, I just want to give you a quick rundown on what's going on. So again, as a rental and tour operator, having reliable bikes is of the utmost importance. At the very last minute, sometimes we might have to buy a bike if there is one out of service, and so you don't want to be buying bikes unnecessarily, although it is kind of fun always to buy new bikes, right?
New bikes are always nice.
Yeah, there's always something to, can't have only dirty ones, right? So.
No. Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah, that thing's too clean. Somebody's got to get that out. But yeah, I'm not going to try and read comments in the description and stuff like that right now. I don't have that kind of lighting out here, but yeah, if you have questions, leave them below and I'll try and answer them. But yeah, just huge thumbs up to Honda and Yamaha again for making great, reliable bikes that are fun, great handling machines. People enjoy them. They might not have that wicked kick in the ass horsepower that the KTMs do in each respective sort of size and class and category. KTM in each weight class seems to always be the power leader, but yeah, great bikes all around here, and we'll talk to you guys soon. So thanks for watching. There's Tim and Kyle again, and the dogs are around here somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, y'all. How do you end that?